start the meeting.
All right, thank you. So the regular meeting of the Civil Service Commission on June 4th, 2025 will now come to order. I would like to welcome the in-person and online attendees. If you want to provide oral comments on any of the agenda items, please be sure to follow the instructions on the first page of the agenda. If you're attending this meeting in person and you would like to pull an agenda item for discussion, when asked, please stand and identify yourself by name or number, and we will return to your item after the consent agenda is approved. Attendees joining us this meeting using the Zoom application will alert Commission staff of your intention to speak about an agenda item by using the the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen. Please include your name, telephone number, or other identifying feature you select when logging in, the agenda item you want to speak about, and the agenda item you want to speak about. Attendees who dialed into today's meeting, please press *9 on your telephone to raise your hand to alert Commission staff of your intention to speak about an agenda item. When called upon for you to speak, please unmute yourself using the *6 on your telephone. We will now commence with the order of business. Will the Commission Secretary, please, Commission Analyst, please take the roll call.
Commissioner Bassett is absent. Commissioner Coleman,
Present.
Commissioner McGovern,
Present.
Commissioner Montenegro,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez Kennedy.
Present. All right. So I actually have do the next one, but I forgot that I have to actually save something here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So Todd is great. Okay, so first, the first order of business is to welcome our new commissioner, which is Sam McGovern. So Sam McGovern is a San Diego native and a managing attorney of McGovern Law Group, APC, with offices in La Mesa, Alpine, and Chula Vista. And before entering the legal field, where he served as a police officer in Martinsburg, West Virginia, where he developed a strong foundation in conflict resolution and public service. Pursuing his passion for law, Sam earned his Juris Doctorate, magna cum laude, from California Western School of Law, graduating in the top 2% of his class. In 2020, he founded McGovern Law Group, focusing on estate planning, probate, and trust administration, helping families protect their legacies and avoid legal conflicts. Sam McGovern has been recognized on multiple occasions for outstanding contributions to the San Diego community and has served on the board of directors for several local organizations. Outside of his professional commitments, he enjoys exploring San Diego and spending to rescue greyhounds. So I want to welcome Sam McGovern to our commission, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Next we have, oh yeah, that's right. So now we go to another part of this sort of ceremonial part, and this is where we say we are going to talk about our outgoing commissioner, Commissioner Johnson. And so May 7th was Commissioner Johnson's last meeting with the Civil Service Commission, and I want to say that I've really appreciated serving with you. First of all, first of all, you have a lot of experience and have like a lot of wisdom, and there are just things that like I just don't know, but you tend to have like a really good depth of wisdom that I really am sad to see you go. I appreciate that you've served your country I share that bond with you as a veteran. So I'm really glad that we were able to share that. And over the time in the commission, when I came on board, like it's you don't know who these people are, but you start to like learn little bits about them, and they start to shine through, and then suddenly you find out we have someone who's like was the president of the bar and has a distinguished legal career and has so many like things that you want to learn about that I just wouldn't get the opportunity to have I not served. So I served with you. So I want to thank you for serving as a member of the commission, for serving as the president of the commission, and for your service to the county of San Diego. And then I believe we're going to start with the executive officer who's going to present the proclamation.
Yes.
And then we'll go to different. Yeah.
On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, they have presented us or presenting you with a proclamation. I'll read the proclamation to you. Honoring Melissa Johnson. Proclamation presented by Supervisor Joel Anderson, honoring Melissa Johnson. Whereas Melissa Johnson has faithfully and diligently served on the Civil Service Commission as a San Diego County Civil Service Commissioner and hearing officer, including terms of president and vice president. And Whereas during her nearly 5 years of serving on the San Diego County Civil Service Commission, Melissa Johnson conducted many hearings and investigations, and her invaluable perspective resulted in significant contributions to personnel matters within the County of San Diego. And whereas Melissa Johnson is an esteemed attorney and partner at Johnson Heater LLP, representing and advising clients in a range of employment law matters, and her personal and professional experiences have brought great insight and diversity to the County of San Diego through her work on the Civil Service Commission. And whereas Melissa Johnson consistently uses her expertise to help others, lecturing on employment law topics before state and local bar associations, disability rights agencies, professional associations, and community groups. And whereas Melissa Johnson continues to enhance San Diego County by serving on the board of the San Diego County Bar Association as its immediate past president, having previously held the positions of president, president-elect, treasurer, and secretary, and served on the executive board of the California Employment Lawyers Association. And whereas Melissa Johnson is a proud United States Air Force veteran, World Series softball champion, longtime resident of San Diego, and a passionate fan of the San Diego Padres and the Philadelphia Eagles. Whereas Melissa Johnson is highly respected throughout San Diego County, and her leadership in civic organizations throughout the region have left a lasting impact. And whereas the County of San Diego is committed to recognizing and honoring those individuals that are dedicated to the best ideals of public service, and Melissa Johnson is one such worthy individual. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by members of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors on the 4th day of June 2025 that they commend Melissa Johnson for her outstanding service, leadership, and commitment to the citizens of San Diego County, and do hereby declare this day to be Melissa Johnson Day throughout San Diego County. Congratulations, Melissa.
So I actually want to remark on that because that is great. That is a great fact. You are the first openly LGBT person to serve as on this commission, and then to serve as its president. But also, then you led to like a majority of LGBT persons to serve on the commission, which is just random. You brought the gay agenda with you, so I appreciate it. No, but yeah, it just happens sometimes. And then we have I'm gonna let the commissioners speak, and then I will present this, and then we'll take pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with our commission vice president, Commissioner Johnson, or Commissioner Coleman. That's Commissioner Coleman.
It happened so fast, I know. So I'll just say, let me just start with, you already have gotten recognition for everything you've accomplished in your career and on this commission. You have a lot left to do, I know, but I will personally miss you because I could always walk into that room and know that I would be greeted with a smile. And you, as a newbie, I was the only newbie for a very long time. I thought this commission was very stable. But you were so helpful to the newbie in helping me learn the ropes. And I'll always be grateful for that, but also for your friendship and your laughter and your stories. I'm going to miss those stories.
And if any of the other commissioners want to say anything?
Other than I'm not going to let you take my money on the golf course, 'cause I'm going to duck you. I know you will. I've only met you for a very short time. Your words of wisdom were very much appreciated. Thank you.
Sounds like I have some very tough shoes to fill, so I will do my best to keep up with all the contributions you've made.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll get up and we'll take a picture.
Yep.
Maybe we should do it with the whole commission right in front of the seal and the flags. If that's okay. And then we'll carry on. Is that okay? All right, cool. We can all just go here.
No, you're fine without it. Karen, do you want to get in or do you want to be the picture?
Karen, why don't you, I was here. No, yeah.
We're a pleasure to work with. Yeah, absolutely. Will you? You can sit at the table there. You want to? Here. Can you get that yellow piece of paper before we give you the oath?
Yes, to yourself, please.
All right. Well, thank you. It was such an honor to be able to serve on the Civil Service Commission. I had been looking at service on this commission for many years until I finally decided to just ask. Ask if the seat was empty, ask if it could be filled by me. And lo and behold, Mama said you don't get what you don't ask for. And sometimes you still don't. But in any event, it's been a true honor to serve on the commission. And Will, you've been awesome. Your leadership is great. I like that you have an agenda and you want to get things accomplished, and I know you will. And Kay, we'll miss you very dearly. I wish that we'd been able to serve longer. And Joe and Sam, I just met you last month, but I do look forward to taking Joe's money on the golf course. And Sam, if you play, you can join us. Oh, yay, there we go. There we go. Good. All right, then I have future income. Uh, Todd, I can't, words just can't express. You've been such a great leader in the commission. We don't ever want for anything. You feed us the information we need. We're organized, we're scheduled. Words can't express. And Morgan, you're such a great leader and such, I'm a lawyer and sometimes, I don't know everything. And, you've been a great person to bounce things off of and to guide and to help with decisions. And Karen and Lisa have been awesome, and sometimes you've had to bug me too many times with the emails. But eventually I do respond. But in any event, I really have truly enjoyed my service with the commission. And it would be remiss of me not to remember Irvin, Pete, Ira and Pete. They were here before I probably, and Brian. Well, those are long gone, but Brian's not long gone. But Irvin, Pete were really key and instrumental in talking through decisions. Sometimes my lawyer head got in the way, and I talking to them actually gave me a different perspective, and also Morgan and Todd. But I really appreciate those discussions, and they were very meaningful. And Brian, what can you say about Brian, except, I never got to see a Super Bowl ring. We still haven't seen Brian's Super Bowl ring, but Brian was just an awesome guy and always level-headed and seemed to get the interesting cases, which I sort of always envied. But in any event, thank you. Oh, Diane Jacob. How could I not remember Diane Jacob? She's the one that put me here and gave me the honor to serve, and I will forever be grateful for that. So thank you very much, and I wish I'd been able to serve with you and you, Joe. I got one meeting with you, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Absolutely. I'm definitely not a golfer. Okay. So that goes to approval of minutes. Did I not say that we could do this in consent? Okay. All right. May I have a motion to approve the minute? What? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? So this, we're going to item D, which is approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 7th, 2025?
Commissioner Coleman, I move that we approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Just second, Commissioner Montenegro.
We have a motion by Commissioner Coleman and a second by Commissioner Montenegro. Commission analyst, could you please record commissioner votes?
Commissioner Coleman,
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Montenegro,
Aye.
Commissioner Rodriguez Kennedy.
Aye, and that carries with the unanimous vote of all present. We'll now move to the non-agenda public comment. Members of the public may address any matter related to the Civil Service Commission other than the items that are on today's agenda. The total amount of time allowed for public comment will be limited to not more than 2 minutes unless the commission president agrees to extend the time. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll probably deny, but I'm just kidding. Do any of the attendees want to make a public comment about any matter relating to the Civil Service Commission, but that is not on today's agenda? If so, and you've joined the meeting on Zoom, please use the Q&A function on the bottom portion of the screen to inform commission staff. If you've dialed into today's meeting, you may press *9 on your telephone to raise your hand to alert commission staff. When called upon for you to speak, please unmute yourself using *9 on your telephone. We'll need to wait a minute in the event somebody wants to make a comment and is attempting to alert staff now. Will the executive officer please start a timer?
Yes. Commissioners, 1 minute has passed. We received no request to make a public comment.
All right. So hearing none, we will move on to agenda item F. Do any of the attendees want to pull an agenda item for discussion? If you're attending this meeting in person and you would like to pull an agenda item for discussion, please stand and identify yourself by name or number, and we will return to your item after the consent agenda is approved. If you're speaking for an appellant or complainant, please use their assigned number. If you joined the meeting using Zoom, please use the Q&A function at the bottom portion of your screen to inform commission staff of the agenda item you wish to speak about. If you dialed in in today's meeting, you may press *9 on your telephone to raise your hand to alert commission staff. When called upon for you to speak, please unmute yourself using *6 on your telephone. We need to wait a minute in the event somebody wants to pull an agenda item and is attempting to alert staff now. Will the executive officer please start a timer?
Yes. Did you want to pull an item for discussion? Okay. Are you the appellant or are you with the department? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anybody from the department that would like to respond? Okay, thank you. Both are in person. Commissioners, 1 minute has passed and we've received requests to pull item number 6. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, number 5. Yes, item number 5 is automatically pulled for discussion.
All right. So that means commission, let's see. Yeah. Will the commission analyst announce the items forming the consent agenda?
Commissioners, agenda item 5 is automatically pulled for discussion. Therefore, agenda items 1 through 4 and Item 6, form the consent agenda.
So it's automatically pulled.
Yeah.
It's pulled. We may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
If it pleases the rest of the board, Commissioner Montenegro makes a motion.
Is there a second?
Second, Commissioner McGovern.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Montenegro and a second by Commissioner McGovern to approve the balance of the consent agenda. Will the commission analyst please record commissioner votes?
Commissioner Coleman,
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Montenegro,
Aye.
Commissioner Rodriguez Kennedy.
Aye. And that passes that carries with the unanimous vote of all commissioners present. We will now move on. We will now move on to our discussion items. Agenda item 5. Do we go to the appellant?
Yeah, we'll let you, before the commissioner reads her report, you will be able to make a comment to the commission. So if you could please stand over there, or not stand, sit over there and speak into the microphone. And we'll note that the complainant that we have identified as number 2024-045 is making a remark. Go ahead.
Speak directly
And
into the
you
microphone,
don't have to tell us your name.
but speak directly into the microphone.
Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to speak today. I understand this meeting is to inform me of the outcome of my complaint, and I appreciate the time that's been taken to review it. I'd like to use my time to briefly restate my concerns and the impact this experience has had on me. My complaint involves age discrimination and the denial of reasonable accommodations due to a medical condition. Neuropathy in my hands caused by prior chemotherapy. I was let go during probation just a few weeks after passing mid-probation with the explanation that I was not the right fit. This was especially confusing and troubling as leadership had initially told me I was the right fit. That sudden reversal came shortly after I disclosed my birth year and shared my medical needs, which raised serious concerns for me about how I was being evaluated. This experience was made more difficult by the behavior of a coworker at the same level as me, who consistently undermined my authority by holding supervisory type meetings with my direct subordinate. This kind of overreach undercut my role as a supervisor and created confusion in the unit. I believe this dynamic would not have been tolerated if I had been more actively supported in my position. It's important to note that my unit was made up entirely of staff who had been with the organization for less than 5 to 8 years. In contrast, I brought 30 years of experience to the table. This was my first promotion in 7 years, and I was eager to share my institutional knowledge and contribute at a higher level. To be removed from the position so suddenly and without any progressive discipline made me feel not just dismissed, but devalued. I also want to highlight that during my time in the role, I disclosed that I was taking medication that can affect memory. I offered a medical note to explain the impact it might have on my performance and requested a reasonable accommodation to record meetings so I could accurately write meetings later. My supervisor refused to even look at the medical note, and the accommodation request was denied. When I explained the neuropathy affecting my ability to type or proofread several contracts, I was told it shouldn't take that long, rather than being offered support. These responses only reinforced the sense that my medical needs were not being taken seriously. Being demoted instead of fired doesn't lessen the harm this has done. It's a loss of progress, opportunity, and dignity. I'm asking that leadership, especially the 4 individuals that I mentioned in my complaint, be held accountable, not just for reversing their decision about my fit, but for disregarding my medical documentation, denying accommodations, and allowing my authority to be undermined by a peer. I raise this complaint not only for myself, but because no employee, especially one with decades of service, should face this kind of treatment after stepping into a new role in good faith. In closing, I still believe in the mission and values of the County of San Diego. I hope that by speaking up, I can help bring attention to how we support or fail to support employees who bring long-term experience and face health challenges. I want to be part of a workplace that values fairness, support, and accountability. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. If you could please take a seat.
The department like to make a statement? Okay.
Do we have any questions?
Okay.
Commissioner, Commission Vice President,
Can I ask the,
you have a question, a commission for the complainant?
I have
So if-
both,
Okay,
So-
so you want to start with the complainant?
yes.
Ma'am, if you could please take a seat there, and
Oh, both of you, okay.
we'll have to switch them out.
So I apologize, I don't have all my notes in front of me on this case, because we had denied the request for a hearing. And so therefore I don't have all the questions that I had when I was working through the documents. So forgive me for that. I do have some remembrances of things. And one question I had was the allegation by management to you that you did not ever formally follow the process to get medical accommodation. Is that true?
That is true because I came from another division, but I did disclose to them and they signed my FML paperwork that I was going through such treatment. I'm a very private person. I do not want to disclose so much. I am going into a new department in a new role, so I'm starting probation. So I try to keep it very simple, but also at the same time, let them have them be aware that this is where I'm at physically with my health.
So just so you know, one of the deciding factors is your claim for lack of medical accommodation, but no documentation that you ever asked for it. So I have to go on the fact that you say you talk to them and they say, they show me emails and so forth to you telling you how to request it, that there is a process that you need to do to get it. And you never followed through. That's my understanding. So if that's wrong, please correct me.
Yes, Commissioner, that is incorrect because they did not provide me that information, that there is a process, that there is this procedure that I have to abide. There was not that. And the reason I'm sharing this that we disclosed verbally is because I had trust in them and the person that I was reporting to or was in that leadership, she gave me the indication or made me feel that I could trust her and that she would be able to work with me in some fashion. And apparently I was misled.
Okay, I'll now talk to management. I might have more questions for you if that's
Thank you,
okay.
Commissioner.
Mhm.
Good afternoon. My name is Claudia. I am a departmental human resources.
Can you speak louder and into the mic?
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay,
You
perfect.
can lift it up too. You don't have to lean all the way out.
So So my name is Claudia Sesma. I am a Departmental Human Resources Officer, and I'm here to answer any questions that the commission may have.
Okay, the first one is, do you have documentation of anyone having told the appellant, the complainant that there's a process if you need medical accommodation?
Right, let me reference my notes really quick.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I have some process questions. So, as I understand this, this is a discrimination complaint. So the process is if the commissioner does not believe that there is probable cause, then we would dismiss the case. We would file and dismiss the case, right?
If the commission does not find probable cause that discrimination occurred that would warrant going to a hearing, then they would deny the discrimination and the matter would conclude at that point.
If the commissioner determines that there is probable cause, does it come back to the commission or does she hear the case?
You sound like you want to say something. If the commissioner believes that there is more to this case than what was in the investigation report, the commissioner could make a recommendation to the full commission to proceed with a hearing. And if the full commission agrees to that by a majority, then a hearing can be granted.
Is that is that normally how it's done? I don't recall.
That is normally how it's done. But it's rare that
There's a disagreement, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And
It's rare that there's a disagreement, but I've disagreed.
if it came back as a probable cause finding after investigation at OECLS, then the commission would be mandated to go to a hearing. It would not be a discretionary thing that will be up for a vote. So that's the distinction. In this case, it came back with.
So if OEC, so just we're aware of the process. If OEC determines that there is probable cause, then it's not a discretionary matter. You become a hearing officer and we go to a hearing. If OEC determines that there is not probable cause, then you may make a recommendation to the commission about whether or not there is probable cause to proceed to a hearing. We wouldn't be getting into the merits per se of the matter itself. We would be designating it for a hearing where you would get into the merits of the complaint. Does that make sense? Meaning you can ask questions related to whether or not you believe there's probable cause. In this case, you're asking for specific documentation. So not to assume for you, you could think if they didn't have the documentation, you could then think that there might be probable cause. That's not to say that that's your thing, but I can just to understand so that we understand the conversation. So that's the thing you can ask for, but we're not going to get into a hearing today. Okay, just make sure. Yeah.
What is the process? Do I take it back and
No. So once you
consider
no.
before I issue that report?
Parliamentary wise, there are only certain things that can happen here. One, either we determine you can make a recommendation to this commission whether or not to hear the case. Now, if you believe you need more time, you can move to postpone the decision to another time. Those are the two parliamentary options that you have as a commissioner. Does anybody disagree with that? I have a pretty good.
No, that's correct. If Commissioner Coleman, yes, if you want to take this off the agenda, re-review some of the materials, maybe solicit from the parties some additional information or any additional information or instruct OEC to assist with that, then you can certainly do that. So you can take this off the agenda for further consideration and give no results today. And
That's really dependent. Sure. Okay.
Excuse me, sorry. We have information that in my notes that she was asked at like supervisory meetings, like one-on-one meetings by your supervisor, if there was any types of
Talking to that
accommodations
microphone.
that she needed. And she stated that there were no type of accommodations that were needed at the time. So we do have information in regards to that.
Okay, so, I have a problem with that.
Actually, you don't have to go into it. So just make, so we're not
I
going
would
back.
like to, request that I get a chance to re-review, postpone my decision.
Can she take it off the calendar herself?
We can, yeah.
No, but can she unilaterally take this off? Or do we have to go to a vote?
Yeah, you can just vote to
right,
continue
so
it
are
if
you
you
moving
want to
to
make
continue?
it.
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we continue it.
Okay, so there's a motion to continue. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion to continue this matter to the next meeting, we'll say?
To the next meeting.
Be August if I'm not here in
It'll
July.
have to be August because the commissioner is not available.
Okay, so the motion is to continue this matter until the August meeting. There's a second by, there's a motion by Commissioner Coleman. There's a second by Commissioner Montenegro. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. Will the commission analyst please record the votes?
Commissioner Coleman,
Aye.
Commissioner McGovern,
Aye.
Commissioner Montenegro,
Aye.
Commissioner Rodriguez Kennedy.
Aye. All right, so that has been continued. I got it. Thank you. So I think we're on the next page, right? Oh, yes, in effect. So it's just what I said. All right, so that concludes today's meeting. Thank you for attending. The next commission meeting is scheduled for the 2nd of July, 2025. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. The parties will be notified when it's on the next agenda. We'll send you a notification approximately a week beforehand.